way. There is a ward there, and Jin Zhao moving over, but I think Shun might be able to just smite this one away, although he's in the brush. The Pillar of Flame comes down. Who gets the smite? I'm not sure I even saw who got the smite. I think it was Meteor in the end, as now a stun comes through. Haichao trying to join the play, but Knight might just get first blood here. One more auto, and it's Shun to pick it up. Knight gets the heal, but in comes Jin Zhao to turn it around once more. Haichao with another kill, and BLG sent packing out of the jungle. Jin Zhao wants a little bit more.
But jungle bin pulling the ult here, not really doing much, but getting a bit of a trade back at least.
So I just want to apologize quickly on stream. Oh, hang on, we're going to dive. Okay, Xiaoya just gets caught by On. Nice little hook underneath the tower. Probably shouldn't be going channeled again, but there's no way he's getting home on this one. On trying to survive underneath the tower. Elk and Knight are on the way. On just has to survive as long as possible. Death charge across all three, and Jin Zhao has overstepped. On gets away with things, and now the chase down comes through. Oh, the might blocks the route from Elk, and it means the other two can escape. So Sankyu's bin takes a chunk. As we're posturing for a fight here. Knight still up in the top lane. This is 5v4 to start off with. And On is caught out. Solar Flare to find the CC chain. He's pretty tanky, but not tanky enough. And Xiaoya now stacking up on the Zeri. Bin turns it around, though. All Out comes into play, and he dashes back into the team. Flashes to safety and survives, but Elk has gone down. Knight next on the chopping block is Xiaoya. He's got an even bigger Gatling gun, and Haichao finishes the job. That's Herald for LGD.
It's 4 for 1. Those rare opportunities where you said, like, oh, we can finally solo cast as a caster. Sometimes you're sat there and you're just waiting for those big moments. You're going straight in. And we get ourselves a fight under the turret.
Oh, the
pew, 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 pow, pow.
Oh, he's pulled in.
Oh, he's going down.
I mean, there's too many things going on to realistically do any sound effects aside from just doing explosions.
They were the pool 1 team heading into this group, but a lot of people want them to wake up. They don't want to be kept asleep.
Jin Zhao caught by On here, and it's a knock-up going through onto Meteor, but he doesn't die, and Birdall's found a flank. That's Elk, but he flashes over the wall in the uphill, doesn't find his mark. Shun in the back of the pit will go down. LGD start the fight strong, but Knight wants to answer. It's LGD now in the pit, and that's a flash forwards from Bin. Railgun across the team's up with Xiaoya arriving on the play. Skarner goes down. Bin looking for more as he dives onto Xiaoya. On looking for a hook, and he won't find it. The flash comes out from Haichao as BLG now in full retreat. Jin Zhao wants to turn it around. The Zenith Blade is there. The Ultra Shock laser on top as well. Elk behind enemy lines. Is a trade for supports here. It's absolute carnage.
Well, you said he
wants to be snowballing. You know, you got a Lucian mid, you got a Nidalee in the jungle as well. You kind of want to be finding yourself advantages. Birdall finds Bin here, the Q3 to get the knockback, the W as well, and actually separates LGD for a second. Solar Flare dodged, and now BLG coming alive in the fight. On pulled in by the Impale, CC'd up by Birdall. On is tanky, but not that tanky.
And you can just see again, BLG, the damage was somehow floods into their backline from the pirate.
BLG want to contest it. There is vision in the pit right now. Shun is in the area. This would be dangerous to flip it, but they're just going to go for it. In fact, they just engage upon Shun, so he can't even contend. Railgun across the team. Q3 lands onto Birdall, but in the meantime, Shun is down, and LGD finding fight after fight. At this point, dare I say, 3,500 gold lead for LGD with the Baron, and the siege begins in this bottom side. Sending Birdall to the mid lane to try and use those Baron minions there at the same time as Bin tries to get an engage, but just gets massively chunked for it. The Pyroclasm doing so much work across the BLG health bars. Knight starting off onto Birdall here. The culling forces a flash out from the LGD top laner. Shun moving over as well as Knight looks for a little bit more. Birdall gets through the wall, but here comes Jin Zhao to try and answer, but the Zenith Blade goes wide. Shun caught up, trying to escape through the jungle now as the chickens run back into the picture. I thought that was Skarner for a second. It was a chicken.
Knight's dead?
Wait, Knight died in the meantime. That must have been an Ultra Shock laser, I guess. This is getting weird.
BLG, this team, we said they are 5-0, but really should they be? They've had some suspect games, and LGD want to make sure that they're not just suspect games, they are lost games. LGD, they walk away with another great skirmish, and yeah, I think it was just a W on the tower. He spots the recall coming through it, while Xiaoya snipes him down. Knight, probably just caught shopping.
You
to bring the Pyroclasm likely into the backline. That's not how you win League of Legends most of the time. Brand, if he ever gets significant damage off, is probably going to win the team. Be the goal. They're pushing in.
Trying to make siege happen in the mid lane. Solar Flare goes in. Are we looking for a fight here, LGD? They're outnumbered. It will be a mid-tier 1 tower taken. BLG stands strong.
The HP bars. They'll teleport back in towards mid lane, but they're still going to have to be on a pretty quick timer to contest Baron.
Health bars are low as well on Shun and Elk. There's a good amount of sustain here, but the Baron is so low already. BLG, they've got to try and find the fight instead. Railgun for shields across the team here. Depth charge onto Haichao as they're just going front to back. Birdall might just go down, but he dashes into the pit. Hook from On to find the kill. Spear goes into the backline as well as Haichao tries to chase out Shun and look for a return kill. Shun gets into the brush. One more auto will do the trick, but the rest of the fight is won by BLG, and Shun gets out with his life anyway. Suddenly, Haichao's alone. BLG, can they find their fight? There's a ward behind in the back of the pit there. Potentially could be a TP ward, but it's only Knight with TP up, so you're not really expecting much of a flank there. On finds a hook onto Jin Zhao as he comes in. Death charge comes on through as well, and they one-shot him. That's the front line that just gets obliterated. And now LGD are scattered. Birdall flashes for the Impale. Maybe a chance of the show comes in onto Bin, and that's the front line down. Birdall pushing forwards as a route. Lands from Elk, and Knight just about escapes with his life. Spears coming out to try and dodge everybody. Knight chased by Birdall, but Birdall can't quite close. TP is in. Soul for LGD as On looks for a fight. Shun jumps in onto Haichao, but he's stuck in the back of the pit now on his own. Elk tries to get in to heal his jungler and gets him out of dodge, but in the meantime, On has gone down. Birdall is TPing behind the BLG players. Elk forced away. Shun 1 HP as the players stick together, heal each other up and try and stay in the fight, but they're surrounded, corralled, and will be taken down. Elk has nowhere to go as he burns to a cinder. LGD might just have done it.
BLG were criticized for maybe showing a bit too much disrespect. I don't think this is quite disrespect. I think this is LGD slapping about the reigning champions of the LPL with these death timers. I think LGD can march in with the Ocean Soul as well, buoying them.
Nymera thinks that LGD might just be the best team in the LPL right now. You heard it here first, folks. I don't know if that's representative, but I'm sticking with it. Knight trying to dive underneath the tower on the top side goes down. LGD have just about done it. The Impale for a couple of bonus kills on the back of everything. BLG, gods can bleed. LGD find a game against the leader of their group.
Good place, bad place.
Hunting for the QE, it hits onto Jin Zhao. Bit of sustain from the Alistair is going a long way here. Those plants continue to get hits in. On looking under the tower. Xiaoya flashes with his first blood for Elk. As Jin Zhao now alone underneath the tower. The Hawk finds him. The minions can't quite finish the kill. I don't even think On was ready for that to hit. But On flashes for a kill of his own. And now it's Meteor alone under the tower. Will it ever end? Meteor 1 HP, and Shun goes down. Meteor turns it around onto one, and On falls as well. Wait, it was an execute onto Shun?
Huh? So it can get access to water walking, has the tier 2 boots, immediately walks down to the bot side of the river, using that entirety of the river again for BLG and LGD. They picked a snowbally bot lane themselves because they have a Draven. That's not really been successful.
Oh, Birdall going to go for an all-out in the top side, and Bin tries to just dive back through the wall, forced to flash. Birdall nicely played there, but Birdall had to flash as well to deny that. Bin has been caught, will be put to sleep. Meteor is here to finish the job. There's a kill into the pocket of Meteor as he potentially looks for Knight as well. That's an answer from Knight, and I think Knight wins these. He's looking for the 1v1. Meteor realizes he's got to get out of there.
You have to call down their jungler just to get access under turret, and even that's being denied for them because, of course, mid and jungle for BLG adding insult to injury.
Oh, Jin Zhao's alone, not level 6. Goes for the flash, keeps himself alive for a second. On was tanking and backs away. Jin Zhao walks into the plants. I mean, stuck between a rock and a set of plants. I guess rocks.
Yeah. So many pins.
This is a hard
he
sentence.
has, like, he's such a great strong side player on. He's gonna be safe. All right. Yeah. Since that he's so good on weak side. It allows BLG to play towards their bot lane. It is a bit of a shame because it means that we see less of Bin on carries because he's the better weak side player than Elk and On are on the bot side. He can still give so much value to his team in moments like that. Knight
Knight.
might have overstayed in his own right. I don't really know what he's doing here. He doesn't have teleport.
Yeah, this
He's,
is...
execute maybe?
This is a little much. Whirling Death doesn't quite hit. I don't think he'll be able to get the execute though, because there's a flash up for Jinzhao, worst case. And there we go, CC lands. In the meantime, Herald slammed in the mid lane. BLG trying to find things elsewhere as Knight just gets absolutely thumped in the top side. Birdall trying to capitalize on something. Actually flashed away. I'm not sure he needed to flash there.
I think, was he flashing out of the roots from Zyra? Maybe that was the case, because if that was the case, yeah, being stuck in the thorny patch towards topside, they might be able to catch Haichao. Doesn't have flash, yeah, they catch him.
Knight, Haichao sees what Knight was doing, and he's like, you know, Knight, you're one of my idols. Anything you can do, I'll do as well. On may have overstepped for this one, as the TP is actually cancelled. Now it's a 2v2. Meteor trying to get onto Elk, but he cleanses away from the dot there, so the sleep won't come on through. Hostile takeover hits as Meteor trying to get the damage in again, but the rend is stacked up and Elk survives. He looks for a second onto Jinzhao, and now 1v1 with Xiaoya. He's so far ahead, and the reinforcements arrive. Barrier once again. Elk is king of the bot lane. Absolutely perfect. I'm going to be honest, when I saw the cleanse come through, I thought it was a little bit early. I was scared because...
no. For myself, I mainly saw him on that JDG roster, so getting to return back to his old ways, maybe it's a bit of a learning experience for me. Bin is currently at a 1v3. Has he spotted this out correctly? Gets blocked by Haichao.
Okay, flashes over the wall towards enemy territory. I'm not sure he's getting out of this one.
Baron's getting
Everyone
started.
Just dives on top, Impale onto two. He's surviving for so long in this play. Baron is just spawning.
It's Zyra,
and
it's
that's
20 minutes.
Zyra. So many plants. They're just going to try and burn it with everyone here. Actually using the Zyra ult just to buff up the plants. They're going for it. Birdall's there. Meteor's not in the pit. That's Baron taken. And now the plants can change targets onto LGD, who are desperately trying to get into the mix. But they're coming in one by one, separated in the fight. Birdall trying to find more, but Knight dashes apart and takes him to pieces. Good shot from Haichao on the backside of the play, but that is all LGD will find. 3 kills and a Baron for BLG. They might just look for more as well. Meteor found by Bin here. The slows are in. Knight finds it with the fate sealed in the end, and Haichao is left alone.
Okay, yeah, maybe BLG are a bit angry. They lose the first game, probably just lost their own mental just a little bit in that game one, but they're well awake in this one. Such a good snowball, such a good play around the Baron. Some lazy resets from LGD have just snowballed into oblivion.
He's gone, he's gone. There's a kill for Bin as well. He's playing Draven, and he's 5,500 gold behind Elk. This is absurd. As BLG with Baron now trying to pressure multiple lanes. Perhaps Knight has been found out here. Fate sealed, not going to be available, and actually comes out. The fate seal comes out to Birdall in the end. It does trade, and Birdall dodges away from the stun from Bin. In the meantime, Elk trying to get onto Jinzhao on the opposite side of the play. Bin gets the kill onto Birdall. Overall, a 1-for-1.
And once again, Knight just having some shenanigans on his own lane, having some fun. It ends up being a 1-for-1, sure. I guess that ends up being okay for it. Xiaoya, he's got no mana either, no flash, no cleanse, probably no life.
I don't know if he's getting out of this one alive, as he just gets slowly but surely battered down.
Right, but, well, whatever, they got so many other people alive, just whatever, small thing, and they get themselves Infernal Soul right at the end of that. It feels like a small thing. There's been no fight over it because they've just brutalized
aside from just ending the game. But perhaps LGD have more in the tank for game number 3, especially with Fearless Draft. You never quite know what's going to happen.
Yeah, they won't be able to play any of these champions again. You can play this stuff with the enemy teams played throughout the series, but nothing you've picked yourself. BLG, this will of course be their last series of playing, and LGD, their last series of playing Fearless. Goes back to standard draft in the next stage, so this is the last chance to show your learnings on this format. BLG pushing in for the killer blow.
Jinzhao Chung does have the unbreakable will, but actually just flashes to get onto the next. Seems to be his motto at this point. Baron spawned onto the map, and we know Shun will happily just start that one off if he sees an opportunity to do so. Bit of damage onto Jinzhao, who is trying to get some wards in, but Bin, in the meantime, has found Haichao. It just feels like BLG are poking at every single angle simultaneously. Bin is just winning the 1v1 against the enemy mid laner. The flash doesn't even save him. Bin practically solo kills Haichao. And in the meantime, Shun has just started soloing
Wait, can
Baron.
he solo it? So he has himself pretty much max plants available, uses the ult again, but they're going to run out of duration. He'll get it to about half HP. Folks, I think someone has to go help him.
No.
Still on it.
I mean, he'll survive, right? The plants will just keep going. He's got Infernal Soul. He could do this. Elk's going to ruin it, but Shun could have soloed that. I'm confident.
There it is. Shun takes the Baron pretty much all on his own with the help of course, his photosynthesizing friends. BLG go in towards the Nexus. 3 inhibitors down for LGD. Teleport in. This should be it.
BLG are just another breed, aren't they? Shun solos Baron while Finn is solo killing the enemy mid laner. And that'll be 3 inhibs. That will be the Baron buff minions. Chow on a blast cone flank of the Century, but I'm not sure he's finding anything on this one. His Knight just looks for the 1v1 on the enemy Alistair. High Chow gets back onto the fountain, only just Birdle trying to buy space for his team. LGD desperately fighting one last fight. The hostile takeover denies any follow-up from Meteor's ult, and the Impale means you can't even hide on the fountain. Nowhere is safe against BLG.
Look at the smiles on the...
Good plays, bad plays. Capturing the fall. OniviaLPLhighlights got them all. Every moment, every fight. OniviaLPLhighlights keep the fire alive.
It was a purely defensive item. That was not okay.
Remember Blue build Ezreal, where he just goes like frozen heart second item or whatever into everything else?
Do you remember the...
Deny potential movement when you look at the enemy team, BLG. They've got 4 different champions that have dashes that could be blocked. But a nice engage from On in the bottom side means Jin Zhao is just gone. That's first blood for Elk, and that is mitigated towards this crab. Both smites are available. This is a stack, and Meteor finds his angle. Birdle now flashes to get onto Shun, knocks him up, sets up for the damage of Meteor, and gets a kill for himself. Not only that, the Lamb's respite keeps the... I would say that in this matchup, but here we are. LGD really contending with them. BLG starting these grubs off again. They got the first 3 already. Jin Zhao forced to get out of dodge. That's 4 grubs for BLG. They should be happy with that. And maybe don't want to fight. Pyroclasm comes out onto LGD as everybody dives on top of Birdle in the top side of the play. Smite not available for Shun. It is for Meteor, so that should be another... No, it's taken by Shun. Was that an auto attack?
It could damage threat if you do get ahead of the game, if you get a lot of good marks. We've already talked about how it affects your entire kit. He's not here for the play right now, though.
Jin Zhao's caught up and will... Oh, Elk arrives just after everyone's sent packing. He flies.
This game is littered with a lot of champions with a lot of success for these players, either historically or recently.
It certainly is. Aside from the Corki. Nice Corki. I don't want to talk about it. Meteor jumps over the wall and finds Bin on the other side. The Croc is here in the middle of the mix. Meteor survives, though, and doesn't have to use that ultimate. Jin Zhao wished he did, though, as he falls. In the meantime, High Chow taking a beating from Knight. LGD sent away, but it's 1 for 1.
Out of it, so I do somewhat understand not pulling that trigger. Good discipline from Meteor to keep that long cooldown there, and at least make sure if On doesn't have a good combo, BLG might have to just sit, watch this go down.
It's going to go down so fast at this point. This will be the Drake taken for LGD. It's just a question of whether a fight can happen afterwards. High Chow nearly solo kills Elk in the backside as On is suddenly in amongst the entire LGD squad. I mean, it's sole point, and it's a freebie on the back of it.
And Meteor also gets himself Mark 6. He's almost at his 2nd range increase on the Kindred. BLG, they showcases some classic Safari League of Legends.
Where in the last game.
It has become a commonality. Still, gold. Still in the favor of BLG, not that much at this point in the game, but it is worth noting that we've been praising the whole. Would have to teleport in. I mean, it's more Safari League of Legends. BLG just watching the wildlife die.
That is Ocean Soul for LGD, and BLG just look none the wiser. They look completely nonplussed on this one. I guess this is going to be a call for a tier 1 in the mid lane. We're getting to desperation stations for BLG.
Yeah, they were just bird watching. They watched the dragon go down, not contested it. They are pushing in mid lane, but they might get teleported on. Here comes Birdle.
Mid tier 2 goes down. Shoya just gets one shot. He's gone. It's like a magic trick. I thought LeBlanc was on his team. And now looking towards Birdle on the top side with the enemy AD carried down. That could be Baron.
BLG starting the Baron.
This is the moment for Meteor to separate himself from the pack here. If he can manage to make this fight work, if he can find the smite, if he can find the fight. BLG committing. Look at the damage across the roster though. Health bars all getting so damn low, but not as low as LGD. Meteor, late on his ultimate, is on, jumps in to protect himself, and Birdall falls. Meteor flashes to safety, but he's the only living. There's no vision. Meteor, the only way to know this is happening is to go in face first, and he doesn't see it from the rush. He's just spotted it, but it's too late. The Baron is gone. Meteor desperate to answer, but he just won't be able to.
Maybe
he
that
can't.
makes a difference, but you know, then you've lost your Ezreal, you've lost your Blanc, and we did say that this can be a hyper carry Kindred, but it is not that damaging just yet.
This Ocean Soul doesn't seem to be doing very much right now as Elk dives in. Maybe the Ocean Soul is doing something for Birdall because he somehow lives through and the Prey Seeker goes wide. Birdall barely gets out with his life, but Jin Zhao not so lucky. And the siege can continue for BLG.
Oh, BLG, they've just taken a single inch and made a mile out of it. Baron buff snowballing through the bot side as they keep taking down this turret. On spots Meteor, but doesn't go for the engage just yet. LGD into that W. That might have been the game, buddy, because he would have no way to escape from Elk if he flew over the top of it. Almost at his max rank of his ultimate for huge follow-up range. Meteor on his own, but looking for the assassination.
It's 1v1, or so he thought. Knight arrives on the play. And Meteor, that's Fate's call, and the W lands from Elk! The Hunter finds his mark after all, and it's Kindred that is the mark this time around. Haichao, now desperate to find his own escape, should be able to get over to the rest of his team, but Elk won't stop hunting anytime soon. Makes things a little unfair.
And it's just coming up right now. Shun doesn't have the tier 3 of his own pyroclasm. Here goes On!
On just dives into the mix. Can they find Birdall? But On is the one to go down instead. Birdall burning on the back line, but still alive. The Poppycopter looking as the Lamb's Respite on the back line. Everybody's so low as now it's Chaos to finish the health bars. LGD are winning it out. True Shot barrage across the team as Shun will go down to Haichao. No, misses the chains, and Shun turns it around. Turns golden. Both of them golden. But there's a shot from Xiaoya. Redemption from the pick earlier, and Elder now on the
it's the only surviving member of BLG. LGD, they haven't found themselves a clean team fight for a while. But
upset to end their group stage.
Oh man, BLG, they have been criticized for not taking games seriously, for being within group stage, and LGD really turning up to play.
It's a combination, isn't it? It's BLG not looking as good as we want to keep going from strength to strength. They're going into Group A already, but imagine if they could go into Group A from beating BLG.
You just look at the damage coming in, the Ocean Soul, just the W, just Wolf hitting Knight, is tagging onto that Elder Burner. They're looking for big combo. It's going to be disengaged from.
Depth charge goes in, Haichao doesn't follow it. That's going to be top inhib taken. LGD want to end the game here, and now BLG have got to try and do something, but it's 15 seconds until Elder runs out. That's why LGD are pulling the trigger. They're desperate to finish the game before Elder's gone. They've only got 9 seconds left to work with. And the buff will time out. That is BLG's opportunity to try and flip things on their head. Last second of Elder as Knight gets back onto the fountain and will survive. Meteor's used the Lamb's Respite and he goes down. That's 2 kills as BLG hunt for more. Shun turns golden, keeps himself alive. Xiaoya misses the Q. He's underneath the tower and he will fall, but it's traded for Birdall. Haichao now has to escape. Xiaoya as well, fleeing for his life. And a TP behind enemy lines from Bin. He wants the flank to save the game. Haichao and Xiaoya, can they do the impossible against BLG? Bin gets onto the back line, but he's just not tanky enough. Xiaoya has the damage and Haichao finishes the job. And now Xiaoya, a chance to prove his quality. But Elk dives onto his opposite man and Knight finishes the job. Haichao versus 3 now as he looks to end BLG's hopes in this game. The minions are pouring in through the mid lane as Haichao buys time, denies the recalls, and looks for a pick, but on out plays it! Haichao down! BLG back in the game!
See what Brands can do.
Yeah.
It feels like it isn't just that one person you have to watch. There are so many people to keep your eyes on. 1v1!
Knight and Haichao in a 1v1. Flash from Noble.
Oh!
Haichao finds it. 1,000 gold. And a 1v1 against one of the best. Birdall forced the flash. True Shot Barrage hits the rest of BLG though. And in the meantime, Elder's already started. This is 4v5 across the map as Haichao is looking to try and end the game. Birdall keeps them away. Elder taken. LGD might just have done it. There's a couple of kills coming the way of Xiaoya. He's looking to finish the job. Elk in a 1v1 on his opposite man, but with Elder in play, there's just no chance. Haichao looks to finish the game. He solo kills Knight to set up the win, and now he's the one to put the final nail in the coffin. It's beautiful from the man in the mid lane, and LGD, they upset the LPL reigning champions and find their way into Group A.
It's smoke and mirrors and a healthy dose of goddamn